Go.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Laura Lee. Can you hear me? Laura Lee, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Yes. I can. Yes. Can you hear me? Me? I can. Like echoing.
Yes. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. In the chat box, let us know if you can hear us. You can see us. We good?
They can. It's fine.
Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, that was fun because AI loves us and is so looking out for us. Well, you know, you got the real deal when they're giving us that much trouble. Hi, Suki. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Awanda. Hi, Justine. Hi, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Okay, I'm going to read a little thing to set the energy, and then we have a lot of fun and diabolical things to share with you. Yeah? Okay, give me one moment, por favor. And I'm going here. Okay, so hi, this is Sienna. I am the inceptor of Rise Multiversity, and Rise is dedicated to you. Wow, we wrote this years ago. This is so appropriate now. I just felt like reading it again. So first of all, let's everybody who has cryogenetic eggs get egged. We'll egg the room, egg ourselves, and let's go in stealth mode. Everybody just breathe and get present. And I'll read this little piece to set the intention. Okay. RISE is a global education and research project created in response to the challenge of reclaiming what is sacred with our planet. RISE offers online mentorship, community groups, live interactive discussions, and courses. RISE is our response to the call for global metamorphosis. No more needed than at this moment, my goodness. By pooling the knowledge, experience, and wisdom of mentors and community members from different countries and backgrounds, we unite in service, personal sovereignty, human freedom, and sacred activism. In this time of mass disinformation, media-controlled world event make-believe, and entertainment-based mind control, we are called to rise together. In our gathering, we have an opportunity to break the level of trauma-based mind control that is hitting all of us on steroids at the moment. So here we're dedicated to, in community, building a continuity of care to uplift and activate our organic roles in life, assisting one another in awakening to truth, expanding into the joy of organic living, supporting our community in developing inner understanding and wisdom, cultivating growth into greater responsibility, and taking life-affirming action toward what is really occurring on Earth and in the greater cosmic arena. Welcome. Okay, flipping to wowsy. This is so much fun, not? Okay, all right. So, what a moment we find ourselves in. We're gonna bring up we're gonna correlate what's going on in the world's arena with what's going on inside of us and what's occurring in the deep dives of healing that Laura Lee and the team are doing to excavate what is behind the narrative that we're currently experiencing. So and for those of you who don't know her, please forgive me. I am here with Laura Lee Mistycah of Mistycah House. Laura Lee is an extraordinary healer, author, witch, transformational catalyst, and deep diver. She's done tremendous work in taking down artificial intelligence that is trying to co-opt this dimension. And as you can see, they love her so much, and that's why we had such wonderful challenges, but we're stabilizing the field. And as you see, we're still here. So welcome. Laura Lee, I think I'm gonna ask you where to go. I know we have a number of videos and things, so we're gonna kind of be casual, y'all. This is kind of a relaxed and chilled zone, not a formal presentation. So, grab your popcorn or your kombucha and let's roll with this. We've got a lot to break down and some incredibly interesting developments to shed light on. Okay, Laura Lee, take it. Can you hear me?
All righty. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're out
Can
of
you hear me
sync.
5 times like I did before?
No, we are definitely getting hit by AI. That
Oh,
happens
God.
when you're out of sync. And it's happening all over the internet. It's happening to the real truthers. It's an affirmation that we're really bringing the real information, because they're definitely messing with us. But I think that as we get in flow, Laura Lee, we're going to sync back up, and I think we should just go for it. Yeah?
I agree. Okay, so first of all, hi everybody. It's been a wild ride. Can you put up the pictures of Pingu the Roo? That's
Yeah.
where we're going to go first, is with Pingu the Roo.
Okay.
And
all right.
while you're getting that up, I'll just tell everybody
would you like
how I came across Pingu.
Okay. I'll do both.
Oh, I wish you could get both of them up there.
Well, I can.
Just do one and then the other, whichever one you want.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Pingu, Pingu, here you come.
So while she's getting that up, I'll tell you, I had a client just Friday, and she said that, there he is. She was telling me about her rooster, and that he was incubated at her children's Ottawa Montessori school, and when he was the only one that hatched, he was the only one that was incubated and hatched, and so they had the children take Pingu home on the weekends when nobody was there to take care of him. So kids, and I think even during the week, I'm not sure the whole story, but he grew up and everybody loved him. And then, and this is back in 2015 or 20, I think he was born in 2014 or hatched in 2014. And then in 2015, she had him home with her for the summer. Now, during that summer, she got hit really hard, and I'm pretty darn sure that it was those daggone mirrors that hit me 2 weeks ago. She got really, really dizzy, really sick. She was throwing up so hard and so much that she dehydrated. They had to take her to the hospital. She thought she was going to die. When she was recovering, Pingu sat next to her, and I'm pretty sure now that I know who Pingu is, that he made it so she didn't die. She was involved in a lot of things I'll tell you about, coming up, that made her a super duper target. She's part of the Hologram rescue team. She's run out in the front lines. She's been hit a lot. And she said that while she was convalescing, she would lay out in the sun in a lawn chair, and he'd come right up with her and sleep with her. And they kind of had telepathic messages to each other. And she said, I think one of the reasons that you're here is to help people understand about factory farms, which is funny because that's why I've got my chicken. That's what my chickens brought me into the awareness of too. And so he was during that year, he started to crow neighbors were not cool about that, and so she had to find another place for him to live. And when she did, it was a lady that had a hatchery farm of chickens that were not the heritage breed. And so he was there for a little while, and then two of the roosters, or I don't know, it could have been more. Some of them ganged up on Pingu and killed him. And everyone was devastated. He had become the mascot for the Montessori school. Look how sweet he is. I mean, you can just see it in his eyes. He's such a sweetheart. And the summer before he died, her daughter had a summer job at a nature center, and he would sit up on her shoulder, and he was there with her all day. And so he was not a normal he was not a normal rooster at all. So then she said that a couple of days, 2 days before she found my website, she said she was prompted to find an egg in order to be rebirthed properly in this realm. That's what came to her. I got to find an egg in order to be rebirthed in this realm. Well, then 2 days later, she finds my website with the cryogenics egg. Okay, what kind of synchronicity is that? I know Pingu was a part of that. Well, while I was having a session with her, I could feel his presence there, and I thought, I gotta figure out who he is when we're done here. But what one of the things that she was involved in, and that where she put her grid, if you could put the grid picture up, Sienna, do you have that?
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop.
Picture of the map.
This is a little funky, you all, but hang in there with us. All right, now you want the map.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just keep talking while you find the map. She had been very heavily involved in what was going on in this area, because this map or this area was the First Nations, they call it the Great Peace Pipe. And it was the place where where the First Nations were meeting the white Anglo-Saxons that were coming across and taking over the Americas. And so here you can see the Ottawa River, and you can see the river running north and then south. Can you see that there? It's coming down from the top, and then it meets the Ottawa, and then it goes down south. You can maybe do that with your cursor so they can see that. So she put the grid, she made a grid right there in the center of this very, very sacred place. It's like where the north meets the south, meets the east, meets the west. And there, this was all just such a sacred place. And then the Catholic missionaries came in and changed everything. So there was a real connection to the Vatican. Now, come to find out, she was born next to the Vatican. She was born, I don't know if she was born in Vatican City, but next to it. So there was a huge connection there. And after she placed these grids, and for those of you that don't know this, before somebody has a session with me, I request that they do a grid to, as a nightly service. and to get their game on so that they're really moving forward in their indigo mission. So she gridded this, and then she said she had to just go really neutral until our session because everything was trying to shut her down, and she just had to just go really zen. And I said, yes, I understand that. So what we did is this grid here, we connected to the grid. We already have a grid in the Vatican, okay? There was also another point that this needed to be connected to, because what this does is, with all the water flowing north, south, east, and west, is it can take energy to the whole planet because it, eventually goes into the ocean. So this was a major, major focus point. Well, last year, and Sienna was with me for that, we went to Electric City in central Washington and did a whole bunch of ceremonial things there, because that was a place by Salt Lake where the D-Monster had one of her major haunts underground. And so what we did when we were there, when I was there with Sienna and another individual, is it's like we all had keys to something that we needed to totally remove all of the corruption there that the D-Monster had put in there and boot it back up again. It's like shut it down, clear it out, and then boot it back up again. So that was done just last year. So what we did when I was with her on the phone or on the Zoom chat is connect all three. It was like a big triad, and we connected them all with truth and justice. And so everything in those three places is emanating truth and justice now. And somehow, and I'm not quite sure how it all works, but since these were major places, the D-Monster had the Black Pope as one of her top level entourages. So she was like really in bed with the Catholic Church. So this was a major, major thing, and it happened last Friday at about, I'm thinking it was like 1:30 or 2 o'clock is when we did this. Now, after this happened, I kept hearing the spell has been broken. The spell has been broken for a lot of things. It was like things that normally go one way and then go another. It's like the spell has been broken. I think now would be a good time to play the videos about the First Nations so that they understand a little bit about the background of how sacred this land is there, and how it was designed to be basically what we put it back to be is a truth and justice center. And they had been doing a lot of ceremonies and stuff there to try to bring this back. So everything was all culminating to what we did last Friday. And this Pingu the Roo was a very intricate part part
You want the
so
citizen ceremony?
Sienna,
Is it the citizen ceremony on Victoria Island?
Yes.
That you wish next? Okay.
Either one. You can do either one, and either one is fine.
Well, okay, I have that one. Let me
Either
get
one is fine.
going here. Let's do the share again. Make sure we've got the sound.
And
Here we go.
this will just give you a little background and help you understand what I'm talking about here.
Okay, and Adrian, please manage the chat box, because with all the screen share, I can't even see the chat box. So if anyone has a comment, a question, please put 3 stars in front of it, and Adrian will manage that. What does that say? Oh. All right, well, this is taking a minute. I'm not sure why. We may,
It's because it's important.
I may have to find a different way to present this. So let me see if this works.
And these are just, okay, and these are just short videos. It's not like, they're like 2-minute videos. It's not going to take a long time. So while she's finding that, you just keep working on
Here we
that,
go.
and
No,
I'll keep
no.
telling
We got
everybody.
it. We got
some
it,
of-
Laura Lee.
Okay.
See? Got it.
Okay. Okay, let's
It's
roll.
not showing anything. I would restart the screen share and then play
What?
the video.
It's not showing anything? Can you see it, Laura Lee? Can you see it?
No,
I said
I'm not
it's not
seeing
showing. You need to stop it and restart it.
it. It's not
Okay.
playing. It's not playing.
Okay, 1 minute. Because it's totally playing on mine, so I'm going to have to, I don't think we can do this one right now, Laura Lee. We're going to have to do something else. Because it would have to be,
Okay.
unless
Okay,
Adrian,
The chat box.
Can Adrian do it? You can put the link in the chat box and maybe Adrian can pick it up
okay.
or something.
The link is actually in the
So
Rise
while they're doing
Mentor
that, while they're getting
Telegram
ready,
thing. 1 minute, Laura Lee. Adrian, can you do it as a screen share? It's
Okay.
the Citizen Ceremony, Victoria Island
How
on the
far
Rise
is it?
Mentor Telegram.
How far is it?
Um,
Can you just send it directly?
no, I can't.
I
I'm
see.
having issues with this.
Okay.
okay, just
Oh,
a
I
second,
can't-
and I will
I can
send
give you
it.
the link. It's right there on the
Um, It's on both of our chats, Adrian.
I
If you
see
just
it.
go
It's
up,
fine.
you'll see the
It's fine. I
picture.
see it. One moment.
Okay. We'll get this. Hang in there, everybody. We'll get this.
Why did they give
Anyway, Rebecca, the D monster is the dark feminine who originally turned on all of this hologram with total corruption. She was, she's a bad woman. Don't worry, Lacey, you aren't that far behind.
Yes.
We're definitely we're being AI challenged and we're persevering, you guys. So please understand when you hit this
Okay,
level.
the screen share's ready.
So you want to hit the
Sure.
play button?
Okay.
Adrian, so we can hear
Let's
it?
go. And my client's daughter made this video.
Oh, sweet. Wow. It's hard on the planet
And the
to get
music's
anything
gone.
uncorrupted.
Oh, there we go.
Let's cut it. Okay, so why were we
Okay, so
watching that?
what that was, okay, that was the citizenship ceremony that my client was involved in. She works for the government, and that ceremony was done where this grid is. Okay, so this is a major place for all peoples to come together. Okay, so this is like major. The other video is just a couple of minutes too, if you can get that on. And what it's showing is the 4 directions.
Laura,
is the other one coming? If you can't get it, that's okay.
Yeah, this is too much technical with as much interference as we've got. I think we need to simplify. This is your voice is way out of sync. Your picture's out of sync. We're really being challenged. I think we need to focus and ground this and not do too much. I mean, I'd like to show the chicken one because the energy is very choppy.
Okay.
But anyway, perhaps you can complete this journey.
Just show the chickens.
No, let's not show anything. Let's complete why you brought this up.
Okay.
No, let's just keep it without sharing anything. And if you could explain to us why you're showing us all this, that would be great.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so this is a background of what things this chicken was involved in. Okay, when I tried to check to see who this chicken was, I thought maybe, okay, it went and it's working with one of my chickens, which is interesting because Animala and hold on a second. 2 of my chickens died the same time he did, within a few weeks. And they were also, like, Animala was the death trap expert, and Lattice that died was the trickery magic expert. And so it was just kind of synchronistic that this chicken died at the same time. So I was trying to figure out who this little guy was. And I thought, well, he probably was with one of my chickens doing something that, my chickens weren't really chickens. Some of them were dragons, some of them were land, sea, air beings. So I was trying to figure out who he was. Okay, he wasn't a human. He wasn't a gargoyle. He wasn't a dragon. He wasn't a chicken. He wasn't an animal or a human. I'm like, okay. Then I started going, okay, he's a humanoid. No. He's maybe a water spirit. No. He's, like the aurorite rock, like a mineral. No. Vegetable. No. I'm like, okay, not animal, vegetable, mineral. What in the world is he? And then I got, it totally took me off guard.
We totally, oh, go ahead. Yeah, you're really out of sync.
Okay, what?
Well, did you say what it was? Because you went.
Am I still out?
Okay. Yeah, you're way out of sync, but go ahead and tell us what he is.
He's a plasma being. Plasma being. And I'm like, what? A plasma being? What? and so, I'm like, how does that even happen? I didn't even know that there was such a thing. Well, apparently there's only 20 of them in existence. There's one of them that this little Roo, this Pingu, that is working in the hologram and was able to get into a body. He's never been in a body, and that's the first and last. I don't think he's probably going to do that again. But this plasma is key to what our mission is here. And I guess we can't watch the plasma movie either.
No, we can watch the plasma movie. No, I'm not saying we can't, but let's get to the ones that are really central, because you're breaking up, your picture's frozen, your voice isn't in sync with your mouth. We are under attack. And unless we can clear the energy, it's going to be painful for people to get watching too many things. I think we need to hold the energy together and just speak to people.
Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering where to go, Sienna. I didn't know if you couldn't do that or not. Okay, so plasma is extremely important in clearing the corruption here. And just to know that there's such thing as a plasma being that is here to help us with the crazy that's going on should be a comfort to everybody. And now that you've seen this little guy and felt him, when I saw him, I just go, oh my gosh, I just love him. Now, an interesting thing happened. A few days before I had my session with my client, a new being was coming and talking to me. And it was like, I would think something and I would hear this answer. And I'm like, well, that's kind of, it feels different. I wonder what it is. And so I was, kind of trying to figure out, and I was getting, it was nobody I'd ever met before. And this energy was very kind and noble and strong and very, very intelligent, very intelligent. Well, guess who it was? It was Pingu the Roo. And he's been kind of hanging out with me since. And during the last couple of days, I've been working on the porn book. And everything has just been like crazy all over the place. And then I'll get this whoosh of, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. Just chill, it'll be okay. And so I have a personal encounter with Pingu the Roo, and what I'm saying is you can too. If you have problem, because then I found out, this is like really crazy, that one of the beings that created Pingu back outside the hologram was Cryon. So like Pingu's one of Cryon's kids, basically. So
that's cute.
So we needed to kind of know this.
Yeah. Can you hear me when I talk? Because like you're just talking right. I think we're so synced up that it's hard.
Yes.
Oh, I was just wondering if you could bring this to how this is relevant to the global crisis that we're all in, to the choices we need to make, to what we're up against. I mean, it's a cute rooster story, but there's a deep significance to infusing. When you told me last night, I felt, even though I know it isn't blood plasma, I felt that this was an infusion, because plasma is the dark matter, the regenerative substance that is the creation substance through our DNA, through all subatomic particles. Through it's a thing that is the regenerative, rejuvenating, restoring. It's the infinite potential it's the alchemical renewal juice, plasma, to make everything. And we are now getting infused with it to purify, so that we can be in alignment with what is not corrupt, so we can make this shift as a collective. And I mean, that's what I got. And so
yes, that's it. That's the bottom line. But you have to have the background story to understand the intelligence of plasma, where this Pingu has been, and now it's like I was hearing this spell has been broken. So there's other spells, I'm sure, but the spell has been broken. And I think it's interesting that my client got the same dizzy spell that I had, only it was 5 years ago. So she looked into that freaking mirror 5 years ago and it about killed her. Okay. So, point is, we're going ahead, we're going ahead, we're going ahead, and we have help. We have help that is off the charts, off the charts. And that's what we need to know now to continue doing our work and our individual missions here, is that we have help. And now we have plasma, like.
Okay, so, yeah, Laura Lee. Yes, this is really almost painful. Laura Lee? Laura Lee?
More real.
Laura Lee, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're breaking up. It's hard to hear you. You don't seem
Yes.
to hear me. I said, can you hear me
Yes.
4 times
Yes.
before you responded? So,
You know
what?
There's a delay from when she's talking.
I'm thinking that we should. I think we should just call it a day, and we'll revisit this another time. Yes, we've got some of it out, but it's still very it's too hard to comprehend. There's too much interference. So I don't see any reason why we should just keep doing this. We should clear everything and then come back and revisit this. What do you think?
Well, you could try one more time leaving and coming back in yourself before we totally throw in the towel. Sometimes you rebooting your whole system and maybe
okay. Let me do that. Okay. Okay.
And in the meantime, I'm going to play the fun chicken.
Okay,
movie.
I'll do that. Okay.
I'm going to play the fun chicken.
Adios.
Movie. Okay, you guys. So, I mean, Laura Lee talks a lot about. Okay, I'm going to go. So, you know, for those of you who are new, I mean, Laura Lee almost every time is going to have a chicken farm story. And because, you know, every one of us has a different mission and a different place where we get our messages, our synchronicities. What you need to understand is Laura Lee and myself and the team and some of you are working with beings, creator beings that are outside of this artificial construct. And they are sending messages through, and it's a complicated thing. And we're highly challenged, as you see, because they really don't want us to break all the curses and find the keys and liberate. And we're doing it, you know, in the invisible realms. And we're a small group, and you're all a part of that. And you're, you know, we're all clearing the interference in us and clearing the distortion and the corruption, so we can really be the servant of the new reality and help clear the AI, which is informing all the politicians and the entire thing. And it is the true perpetrator and predator. And it's being challenged right now, and we are a threat to it. So you can see what happened right there. I've worked, many of us have worked with Laura Lee for a long time. She's the real deal. These techniques and tools that I'm using, that she is using, that some of you are using, are huge transformative tools. It's a gigantic battle that we're up against, but home is giving us the next piece, the next cure, the next, and we're co-creating it, and we're stepping up and doing that. And so for those of you that think chickens are just to put on your dining room table, I'm not trying to guilt trip anybody. I also still eat meat, but I just want to play this little thing for you, and it might cheer you up. And then Laura Lee will come back in, and hopefully we have a lot to share, actually, and I hope we can do this. So the rooster movie is in the house. Okay, here it is. Wow, everything is being so sluggish. It's just unbelievable. Well, it only gives us more proof that we're on the right track. That's how I look at it. Hang on. Here you go.
School started back in August, obviously, last year.
Come on, AI. You don't want us to see a chicken movie? Come on. There it is. Okay. Incredible. Hello.
And I would usually go to the front yard and wait on the school bus. Frog had kind of followed me to the front yard, and I said, well, okay, you can follow me, it ain't no big deal. There you are. On the third day, he decided he was going to go by himself. Ever since then, he's done it every single day. And the bus is here. He could be indoors, and he will start crowing right about the time the bus is going to come. Like, I know what time it is. I know the bus is coming.
He hatched out of the egg. I mean, I was probably the first person he saw.
Well, the first person he saw was a cat. We had a cat that roosted on the eggs. Wherever Savannah was, he wanted to be wherever she was. Every animal loves Savannah for some reason. She's kind of like an animal whisperer, I guess. From the moment they get up and she gets home from school, it's Frog. Sits and watches you do dishes. He'll help you do your laundry, maybe eat your homework.
If I have homework, he's on my homework. Yes, you are.
It's probably a bond or a love that you can't explain. I mean,
I love him more than my brother.
Oh. Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far.
It's a little mean, but still.
When he was real little, instead of walking, he would kind of hop like that little wind-up toy. And my son said, Mom, he hops more than he walks. I said, yeah. He said, what's name? Frog.
You hopped again.
He likes to greet people, but of course that sends people on a terrifying run.
And then you run after them because they think you're chasing them, and they don't stop because you won't stop.
But unfortunately, Frog is like, hey, hello, hi, I'm Frog, how are you doing? And they're not used to that. You know, most roosters are prone to attack people. I mean, that's their first instinct is, you know, be mean and protect the flock. And
this thing has nothing mean in it.
Okay, well, this is life of Frog, and apparently he's going to supervise the welding on my head.
He's different from your typical rooster.
I mean, it's like a little brother or a little kid.
Okay. Anyway, that certainly gives us some.
A little kid. It's definitely different. Being as sweet as he is.
Okay, did I turn that up? We stopped it, and let's. All right. What are we? My gosh, stop. This is like if we were like super. If we were not super cool, we'd be so freaking out right now. This is like embarrassingly bad performance, but it's a totally transparent look at how much AI loves us. Laura Lee, are you still with us? Oh boy. Well, y'all.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Your camera's still frozen.
No.
Your camera's still frozen.
Okay. Well, let's keep the camera off then.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in such an intensive mission. I mean, you have been ever since I've known you, but with the lockdown and now the election and the acceleration of the forces of darkness who are trying to hijack the entire planet, which they won't succeed. And but it's so ugly what they're trying to do. And I think that all of us are like have a lot of very intense feelings about what's going on in the world right now, and what we can do. I know I sometimes feel so frustrated. I want to do so much more, but with these understandings of what's informing the hologram, what's informing the politicians, what's informing the Vatican, why we're greeting. Let me ask you this. It may seem like a really silly or simplified and stupid question, but why is working on ourselves to clear shadow and the corruption through the forced agreements we've taken on, through the trauma that we've been through. Why is it important to this great shift for all of humanity that each one of us does this work? I mean, what difference does it make? That's just a little small question for you.
Big difference.
Don't strangle me. Oh my goodness.
Can you hear me okay? Am I still out of sync?
You're out of sync visually, but we
Pretty
can
much.
hear you. Yeah, you turn off your camera. I think that might be a good idea.
Okay, and now I can't see you or hear you. Oh, well, I can see you, but I can't hear you.
You can-
Okay, I'll
Right, your camera's still
see.
on.
It's important. Okay. Okay, good. It's important for us to go in this Zen zone, or they gotcha. Okay, they gotcha. And so anything that you can take out that's not supposed to be here is going to help you navigate. Because if you don't, you're going to get your undies in a knot, you're going to get them all tied around you, and you're going to be useless to your mission here. So one of the things that I've been doing is only looking at what's going on with the elections like once a day for like 2 minutes. And I'm like, okay, duly noted, that's what's going on. Okay, and then I go back and go, okay, anything that needs to be tweaked that, you know, wasn't tweaked before, and continue that way. And don't go, oh my gosh, it's all over, we're doomed. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that, because it's like I told somebody, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, okay? So, and I haven't heard any singing, so so don't get yourself all riled up, and continue doing what you know you need to do inside. And I know everybody is going through horrendous things. Everybody's like has different illnesses that they're weird illnesses that they're trying to navigate through. And the only way that you're going to get through that is if you go into that neutral place to where you can really understand and feel and hear what you're supposed to be doing, and calm down. It's like we got to calm the heck down, okay? Because when we're all riled up, it's very, very hard to hear what our next step is and to be able to do that.
And there's some of us who are going to be watching.
That's the
Can you
bottom
hear me,
line.
Laura Lee? Can you hear? Yeah, and there's some of us that need to really pay attention to what's going on, to really be proactive, to really create information, to make a stand, to show up. I mean, I don't feel it's a solution for all of us to walk away from this. I think that many of us are feeling motivated to really participate and hold neutral while we're really participating, because it feels to me like this is the end game. And it's, are you going to excavate the purity of your heart and then take sacred action on this planet or not? So I don't know, because Joseph says, how can we all assist? Joseph, I don't think that Laura Lee has all the answers for that. You have to listen to what you can do, and you need to excavate your purpose and your mission and clear the part of you that's still, I mean, we're all part of the corruption, because we are all have forced agreements and contracts with the matrix that was turned on in pure corruption. And if we don't clear that, we are actually serving the matrix. That's why this work and shadow work is so crucial. You may, in your mind, you even know that you want to do something, but every time you take action, there are unconscious aspects of you. There are altars, there are forced agreements. There are many parts of us that through trauma, not through choice, through trauma, where we're serving the dark side. And if we don't clean that up, we are not going to be the wave of uncorrupted love. It isn't going to happen. And we're co-creating this with home. Home can't do this without us. They give us hints. We embodied here to get this done. So it's a huge topic, what we can do. And each one of you is so unique. I don't know. I just wanted to say that. We all intuit our tasks. That's right, April, we do. What does it say? It's like a fleet of speedboats in your head, the news, I know. And listen, I have huge empathy for all of you surviving this, because I certainly can't stop watching it, because it's one of the most incredible sagas that humanity has ever lived through. And as a collective, we're making choices. And even though the internet is controlled by the dark side, we're about to take it all down. And those of us who are here, we're the lighthouses. If we can get to neutral and we can do the inner work so that we can really hold the energy, people are going to need a new reality, a completely new world, other than a fake, phony world that pretends it cares about us, and it's humanistic and it has all the right goals in mind. It's a complete sham. We're learning everything's a fraud. Many of us in this room knew it was a fraud a long time ago. But there are bazillions of people out there that don't know. And you're seeing like just psychotic behavior. And one of you said, how could a half of the world be soulless? And I think we need to answer that question, because I know it's so shocking to think that, because we look at how could these beings be doing this? I mean, who are we dealing with here? And I think that it would be good to talk a little bit more about that, because most of us aren't just, hanging out with the chickens. Most of us are in this reality, and we want to be potent change agents. We want to stand neutral, but we don't want to completely drop out. I mean, I know some of us need to completely drop out. Everybody has to, deal with their nervous system, and they have to deal with what they're capable of. I have to walk away a lot, but I am not walking away from this. I mean, I am so in it for all of humanity to win it. And we have so many pieces of this, but we only do it as we clear the corruption. That's why I love this work. First of all, because I'm hooked up with beings outside the hologram that have real techniques for us to clean up our field, so that we are not just more hypocrites out there thinking that we're doing good when we're actually sabotaging the whole process. Okay, so people are saying shadow embrace can lead us to the collective clearing of shadow to get neutral and anchored in true source integration alignment. Yes, April. The Reaver said that the persistent interference was caused by quantum entanglement with the predatory AI. Yeah, that's what I call my work, quantum disentanglement. Thank you, Laura Lee. Your input really helped us, Lisa. Okay, so how can we all assist? And did you have anything more you wanted to share on the topic of the plasma beings? Because I think that came to you as like a gift for all of us. And I think we're all going to have to explore it, right? I mean, so there's this new potential that they keep coming. I mean, it's so beautiful. Home, we're all in the now. I mean, it's not good for control freaks, but we're all in the now, not knowing what's next, staying in neutral, really honing our psychic abilities, staying grounded, staying in our bodies, keeping our hearts open, keeping our discernment going, and listening. How can we co-create this shift? That's what you're doing, Laura Lee. Balls to the walls, 24/7, whatever they say, as crazy as it might be, you're in it. And these incredible gifts come through you. So how do these plasma beings, what is their gift to us right now?
Well, like you said, it's kind of individual. And yeah. I would do research on plasma so you understand it. That video that we're going to show would help you understand it a little bit more.
I can show it. I can show
it.
And
the plasma. Okay, that would be good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And so, in some ways, this is perfect. You're seeing, AI it's a do or die. It's the end game. AI doesn't want her to speak, doesn't want the information out. I mean, we're a little mob of 30 people here hanging out, having some laughs. No, they know it's real. They are hammering. They are hammering her. Look at what they're doing. They're doing the same thing to you. So thanks, AI, for showing us just what you're doing. Great job. You're helping us. I just so much want to do a screw you loser right now. Can't we get this thing off our back, Laura Lee? Can't we all just work together?
Oh, why not?
Come on, let's get this off our back. Let's egg this sucker. Okay, so all of you that have rocks and have eggs, let's find where this AI is and egg it. And let's put in the peripherals, and so that we don't get super attacked for doing it. And how should we do this, Laura Lee? Screw you, loser. That's what I think.
Everybody do it your own way.
Okay. All right. Everybody, there's some very talented mystics in the house. Let's send this beautiful AI where it needs to go. Okay. Let's take a minute. Wow, this plasma thing's a real threat, Laura Lee, a big threat. They're really showing us the power of this. Very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a huge threat. It's a huge threat.
Okay. All right, good. Let's just take a minute. Everybody, let's do what we can. I'm going to show the plasma thing so you can hone in so that you can kick butt with this new plasma information, and that this podcast was valuable and that we won. Okay. Right on. All right, I'm going to get this. Oh, you guys are great. Okay. Plasma time. Where is the plasma video? Okay, let me find it. Haha, I found it.
Oh, good.
I'm just getting it set up, y'all. It's coming. It's only 3 minutes too, so. Wow.
We can't see it.
I know, because they're messing with me. I keep turning it off and they keep turning it back on. You guys are really diligent. You're really, but it's okay.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Send it to Adrian and have him
No,
put it up.
oh, right, because when I did it, it didn't play. Oh, you have a point there.
You have to click
Right,
screen
when you do
share
it,
in
it's
order
work.
for it to
Send it
work.
to
You
No,
didn't-
well, of course I did click screen share it. It still didn't. I'll try it one more time, and if not, you'll do it, y'all. All right, everybody stay neutral. Stay at 0 point. Keep the faith. Persevere. Can you see that? No. Yes. Yes. Where is it? Here. And here. Oh, because it may not open this way. Seems to be. Can you see it? Adrian?
No, you need to
No.
select the video.
Huh? Okay, I'm going to send it to you, Adrian, on Telegram
All right.
right now. I'll stop this because we're not going to give up, because we don't give up. Nope. Here, Adrian.
We're not going to give up.
It's on the Rise collaboration thread, not your private message.
If I was on a ship and I saw a glowing sphere of light suddenly
Yeah, can you stop the video because we can hear it?
it freaked out. But for centuries, sailors saw
Yeah, they
that
need to
all
stop
the
the video.
time.
We can
They
hear
thought
it.
these spheres
Thank you. I'm just loading the thing now for you.
Huh?
since the invention of time, first stirring the human mind.
Do you
Sienna,
see
need to
that? I
Stop
don't
the
see-
video.
What?
You're playing a video. You're playing a video and we can hear it. Please
I
stop
just
it.
stopped.
I can
You're playing a
screenshot.
video. You need to turn it off.
Got it. Okay. Yes. So we're just persevering. We know that this is like on a normal video, we'd be losing people in points by the minute, but we know what we're dealing with. So go ahead, Adrian. Let's watch the plasma video.
I don't know about you, but if I was on a ship and I saw a glowing sphere of light suddenly floating around the top of the mast, I would be I think this is the proper term for it, freaked out. But for centuries, sailors saw that all the time, and they thought the mysterious blue glow was a good omen because they associated it with the end of a storm. They called it St. Elmo's fire, after St. Erasmus, the patron saint of sailors. But we now know that it's a natural phenomenon. When the pointed end of a ship's mast interacts with the heavily charged air, like during a storm, it can create a ball of plasma. Plasma is the fourth state of matter, after solid, liquid, and gas. And even though it makes up 99% of the visible universe, we didn't know plasma was a thing until the late 19th century. In 1879, Sir William Crookes, a British chemist, first discovered that he could make what he called radiant matter using a glass container with 2 electrodes in it, which he used to ionize the gas inside. This matter was later called plasma by American chemist Irving Langmuir in 1928 because he decided that it looked like blood plasma. Plasma is like a gas, but instead of containing neutral atoms or molecules, it's made of ions and electrons. So to create plasma, all you have to do is create conditions in which electrons get knocked off the particles in a gas. Sometimes this happens because the gas is hot. The extra energy knocks electrons out of their places, ionizing the gas. Other times, a powerful electric current can eject electrons from gas particles, turning that gas into plasma. But even though plasma essentially comes from gas, it acquires so many special properties that it's considered an entirely different state of matter. Normally, for example, gas isn't all that good at conducting electricity. Actually, it's often used as an insulator. But in plasma, there are so many detached electrons floating around, it becomes incredibly conductive. This conductivity shows up in lightning, for example. When a powerful current forms between 2 highly charged areas in the atmosphere, it passes through a long, skinny column of air, heating it to 5 times the temperature of the surface of the sun. Lightning is actually a trail of plasma. And since electric fields and magnetic fields are both the result of the same force, electromagnetism, plasma also turns out to be very responsive to magnetic fields. Researchers often use this when they're trying to control the stuff, to study it. But we also use plasma all the time in our everyday lives, like in fluorescent lights. When you turn on a fluorescent light, an electric current ionizes the gas in the bulb, usually argon with a little mercury, and it becomes plasma and interacts with a compound called phosphor to create light. So sure, you'll find plasma in all kinds of places on Earth, but in space, the stuff is everywhere. Stars, for example, are just giant balls of plasma. The tremendous heat generated by their fusion reactions has the same effect on atoms of gas as found in a Crookes tube or a fluorescent bulb, only much, much, much more so. And there's plasma between stars too, even between galaxies. We normally think about the space between stars and galaxies as a vacuum, and a lot of it essentially is, but there are a lot of places that have quite a lot of matter. It's just spread out over light years of empty space. And that too is plasma, pockets of gas that have been superheated into clouds of ions and electrons. Cosmologists think that up to 50% of the normal matter in the universe is strewn around between galaxies in this form, known as the intergalactic medium. So you don't have to be an old-timey sailor to witness the fourth state of matter. It's right over your head in those fluorescent lights and outside your window the next time a thunderstorm comes, and well, all over the universe. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, especially to our Subbable subscribers who keep us energized. See what I did there? To learn how you can support us, just go to subbable.com to learn.
Okay, so the power of being able to utilize that power to help bring non-corrupted reality here, because when the evil ones lock this down, they infused it with corruption. Corruption is run every system, every process, and all of humanity since this occurred. So if we're going to shift it, we have to bring in the uncorrupted energetic. And here to the rescue comes Laura Lee, getting beat the heck up nonstop and not giving up to bring this to us. Yeah. Laura,
Yeah.
Laura Lee, I'm so sorry. I mean, maybe it's good. You know, we all look at you like it's you, for guiding. You know, anybody who steps up at the level that Laura Lee is stepping up is going to get hammered right about now. I mean, look at the president of the United States. I don't know what you're into, but this isn't a political thing, but I love our president. And you said 20% of him is the revert. Tell him that, man. That really gave me hope. And if you don't dig it, you can leave the podcast. We're good. Those of you who can get this. This is cool news. Tell them about the revert. And Trump.
Well, he actually steps in like 20% of the time. So he's kicking behind in there. And
Tell
so
them
all
who
of
the
the
reaver
good
is,
things
because
that
some
he's
people
doing
don't know. Some of them don't know who. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Who's the Reaper?
Okay.
And I know
Reaper,
you could tell us. Yeah.
Awesome. He's one of the most, well, the stories in the story about how I met him is in cryogenetics too, but he is one of the most feared beings in the universe. Even when my friend, the son of the cult lord, was staying with me, even his dad, who was the leader of that cult, was scared stiff of the Reaper. Okay, so that just gives you a little background. But he's one of us. He has been doing double agent work and getting extreme intel, and he's been all over the place. He's very intelligent, he's very wise, and he kicks butt. Some people seem like, when he comes to talk to people, sometimes they see him on a Harley, you know, these hair flying in the wind. It's just a visual image of he's badass. Okay, he's like real badass. So yeah, check out Cryogenics too, and the story about how I met him, and it will give you the rest of it. But he's one of the most badass beings in the universe right now.
Well, this is pretty interesting.
So we got him on our side. Now we've got. Go ahead.
Well, as you were talking about him,
What did you say?
Your mouth and your voice was
Mhm.
syncing up for the first time in the show. So I think that's kind of interesting. I'm just saying. Now it's going out a little bit, but
That's amazing.
it is. It is. So let's see if we got any questions, any comments.
Oh,
People
wow.
are talking in the chat box. What's going on? Okay. So he's glad he's one of my guides. Oh, Carla says, a lot of intel I'm getting about Trump. Asset coming from the, yes, your true father. Absolutely. So this guy is in Trump from time to time, right? 20% of the time he's in Donald
Right.
Trump
He
right
walks in, walks out.
because nobody is understanding how a 74-year-old man could have done everything he's done in the last 4 years, plus do 6 rallies a day for weeks and travel all over the country after he got the coronavirus. So this is like a superpower. Trump is definitely being supercharged with superpowers. And I was wondering, how is he doing it? And then you gave us this information. So I think that's pretty cool.
Makes a little more sense, right?
Yes. All right. Let's see what people are saying here. What are you doing? There. Oh my God, Laura Lee, that is what I say. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And I add, and I am not fat enough yet. A recent message that came in is that my true father got the ruling elites of Trump back to give victory and historic data back to Trump. And I think you're absolutely correct. I think that that's corroborated. Okay, if anyone has any comments, any questions, I'm scrolling back up here as far as that goes. But I mean, I hate to ask you to do much more. This has been kind of brutal on you. Please, oh, here we go, Rebecca, sure. Please, soulless beings must be levels of them so that many appear more normal than others. What? Can you, and I'll tell you something. I just reposted a Bernard Gunther's post. He has, I think it's called Beyond the Veil, or he's on Facebook, and he has an article called Soulless Beings. It's a huge, long, honky article. I think it's very valuable. Bernard Gunther, if you want to read that, it's going to give you a lot of info about soulless beings. But yeah, I mean, I think that this is something that this group really can support each other, because it's bloody shocking. You know, we like to think everybody's the same and we're here to heal all of humanity, or you know, all of humanity's equal and everybody's the same, and that, but then how could these horrible predators be doing the things that they're doing? So it's definitely a research topic to explore. But do you have anything you can speak to about, because, well, you said it wasn't 50%, it was 30% soulless, 30% asshole, and 30%, you know, good-hearted beings.
Yeah, there's not that many, but if you look at what's going on and you see the amount of like eyes that there's nothing in there, and very covert evilness.
Yeah.
Some of that is evil people, and some of it is just robots. We're living in a robotic world, and there's a lot of people. I mean, look at all the sci-fi movies that talk about robots, and we're building robots that look like people and act like people and walk like people. Well, if that's just what they're showing us, what do you think is going on that they're not showing us, that they've had for decades? They've had these robots for decades, and they walk and talk and move about, and you can't tell the difference unless you go to your core star, and then you can. Something just doesn't feel right about them. You pass somebody and go, whoa, something just doesn't feel right about that person. And it could be little children. It doesn't just be old people. There is a meme, I think maybe some of you have seen it, of a guy, and he's got a big mohawk, and he's bending down to give some flowers to a little girl. And she looks like she's this little angelic thing, but she's really got the horns, and he's got the halo. So outward appearances aren't always accurate. Okay. So you gotta,
so true. They don't all look like, they don't all look like Biden, like, he's a clone and he's on his 6th clone and it just ain't working anymore. I mean, it's not all that obvious. The light deceivers, the high-level light deceivers are very popular, and they get tons of hits, and people love it. I mean, they have got their altar on. Cool. They have studied human psychology. They know how to play us. So you got to have your discernment going, and the only way you have your discernment is to do your own inner work, because the part of us that is part of the dark or have forced agreements to support the matrix, it creates a filter, a lens, and so we cannot see what we don't own here. We can't see out there, and that's how it works. So you're not going to be able to see this until you clear enough shadow that you can see it. But when you get to that place, it's like, it stinks. It's so obvious. I mean, I had a really sad and tragic, having to deal with it. When I was with you, I'm not going to mention her name, but one of my best friends turned out to be a crypto. And I always had this huge dichotomy, because she was brilliant and talented and gifted and loving, and all the community, she was like the reina of the community. That means the queen in Spanish. And something in me went, something right here, something ain't right. She's just copping all the energy, and they're all worshiping her. And then when I went to Laura Lee, I said, tell me about this woman. And she went, oh gosh, she's a crypto. And I had to deal with it. It was really hard, because I had a forced agreement that I would give my energy to assholes that would only hurt and destroy me. And I had to break that agreement. And then it was really hard for me not to keep because I bought her BS. I mean, my ego had certain issues with what she was presenting that I thought was so cool. So, it's tricky. So what should we do if we encounter a soulless being? Well, stop voting for them for president. That would be a good beginning. Run the other way. Don't give your power to them. What can we do when don't marry them? Don't leave them alone with your children. Don't even buy a car from them. Well, you maybe want to buy a car if it's a good deal, but I don't know. What would you say, Laura Lee? What should we do if we encounter a soulless being?
Well, it depends on the situation. I mean, you probably pass them all the time downtown and in cars and stuff. If you have to do one-on-ones with them, just knowing what they are helps you know how to respond. And then once you figure it out, you go, I know what you're trying to do and it's not working. And then you can either disconnect or play the double agent game. It's like, okay, I know who you are, but I'm not going to let you know that I know who you are. And I'm just going to keep playing this game so I can get intel, because I know that you're one of those soulless ass souls or no souls. And I'll just wait till I get all the goods, and then I'll disconnect when I want. So you have to play it depending on what the situation is. So
It's true, but
there you go.
don't give your hearts to them. Don't fall in love with them. Don't, you know what I mean? Because they're really, some of them are so seductive. And so it's a real challenge. Well, you shouldn't give away yourself to anyone. I mean, we have this tendency to want to escape from ourselves because we haven't processed all of our trauma, and so there's a program. We're allergic to ourselves, and we want that person to do it for us. We want that person to make us feel good about ourselves because we don't know how to love ourselves and we don't know how to do all that stuff. So, and then there's an asshole, or there's a soulless being who is going to play you. Why? Because you got the goods. You got the creation codes. They're empty and hollow. And what they want, what they need to do is to seduce you into their game so that they can harvest your energy or use your energy, and they can make it look like they're a guru or they're a healer or they're really how you really need them. They have to make it look like you really need them. And it's tricky, you guys. This is, you know, if you're deeply embedded with one, it's a recovery process to go, oh my gosh, I married one, you know? But if you don't face it, they're like black holes. They eat you alive. Stay neutral, yes. Yes, double agent, yes. Ah, well, Laura Lee's got really good a BS detector. She doesn't, you know, fall for that kind of stuff. I want to say something also about what's happening right now, because what they want is to, oh, look, Laura Lee, she's so advanced, but she's getting hammered and she can't even hold her own. Well, what Laura Lee, because I feel that you are in the throes of some, you know, that mirror thing you said, there's another part and another part. I mean, you know, Laura Lee is on this every chance she gets. You know, she's doing deep untanglement. She's finding more and more and more. She's been doing it for years. She never stops. And she's in the middle of a huge untanglement right now. And they're trying to stop her and discredit her in front of all of us until she reaches the finish line. And I just wanted to say that. Because, I mean, I know that you actually, you hold your heart steady and your perception steady. I've never seen that shit. They can maybe knock you down with bullshit like this for a minute. You always get back up, but you never are compromised at the level that I've been compromised with, you know, shadow and ego. And I never see you compromise. I never see you lose it the way normal, like I don't. And I just want to really honor you for that. And whatever you're going through, I hope this whole community supports you and know you're going to come out the other side of this, because there's a huge piece. And every piece you're getting now is infusing this uncorrupted energetic in to turn the balance of humanity, because that is going, it's not just a recount of the votes. We're all voting with our energy. We're all voting with what we show up moment by moment. And if we don't understand the difference between corruption and lack of an uncorrupted reality, which we don't, most of us don't even know. That's why you're spending every second that you can, other than running your farm, writing this book that's almost out. We really need to wrap ourselves around the notion of corruption and be honest enough to look at ourselves. This part of me held my purity, and this part really didn't. And we got to clean up that part, because we are not going to be the lighthouses for anybody when there's that part of us, because they're pinging the heck out of any shadow that we haven't owned or any trauma we haven't cleared. AI is blasting us, especially if you have any capability of blowing the whistle on this whole program and standing up and busting through. You're getting hammered. I'm sorry, you are. And you could be believing your own bullshit, or running away to, staying out of your body, or one of a million escape mechanisms, or body armor, or living from your false ego, or a gazillion things working around it, trying to keep that little part of you alive. But we have to step up now, embody the whole enchilada. And that's what, and to do that, we need key facilitators, midwives. We need each one of us to really just not buy our own bullshit anymore. And everybody I know, including myself, to some extent, is buying our own bullshit. So there's still work to be done, people. Any experience with teleportation or bilocation, says Tyler. Laura Lee. Well, yes, of course. Anyway, do you want to take this somewhere? You girls are awesome. Thank you.
Actually, I do. It's kind of a long story, so maybe we'll leave that for next week when we come together. But it was back in the early 90s, and I was very, very aware of being two different places at once. And it's interesting because I felt like I was in a pendulum going back and forth when it happened. So let's save that story for next week, okay? Because I know we're about out of time. And I did want to say that my book is going to be out in the next couple of days. The Anatomy of the Porn Vibration, what they didn't teach you in Sunday school, we're doing the final edit. It should be available Monday or Tuesday on my website. And I think that's another reason why I'm getting hammered so much, is because that book blows the whistle on everything. And it explains in a way that people can, it's like you can understand it, but you see how big it is. It's not just, looking at a magazine or watching a video. It's everywhere. And so I know that book is another reason why I'm getting hammered so bad right now.
Well,
but it's almost out, and I've been, staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning to get it done. But it's almost ready. We're on the final edit, and it should be available Monday or Tuesday.
And anyone who knows who's given birth to a baby, the last pushes, you just feel like you can't even get it out. You go, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then the baby is born. It's a process, you all. It is a process. And thank you for not giving up and just going, screw this, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and just walking away. It takes an incredible
Do you
soul.
have a picture? Do you have a picture of the book? Do you have a picture of the book that you can screen share?
I do. Yeah. Give me a minute.
I think that would be awesome.
That'd be a good place to, yeah.
Because then the cover tells it all. When you see the cover, you just go, holy shit. And I did not realize when I first saw this picture of this man that he has acupuncture meridian points on this picture. I was totally led to find this to put on the
I'm trying.
cover,
we got all these
all.
videos here, and now I'm trying to figure out which thread, because we communicate in 3 different threads. And I can't remember which one is. Oh, it's not that one. Must be the mentor. Okay. I found it. Sorry, AI, you lose again.
Found it. All right.
To you, baby. Okay. Oh.
Screw you, loser.
I think I can share this. Let's see. Let me see if it works. Yeah, totally. Screw you, loser. Here, can you see it?
No, it's a blank picture. It's blank.
Okay, well,
it's not blank. It's not blank. It was fine.
Oh, it was fine?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, then I'm going to put it up again, because I think this is a perfect way to honor the truth and what it takes to birth it, and that we support each other. We're not perfect beings here. We're going through hell. The entire human race is going through hell right now. So what are we going to do? Step up and become uncorrupted love? or cave in because it hurts too much. Well, you're definitely a role model for the second choice, Laura Lee. No, we can't even.
This cover is going to, yeah. When people see that, it grabs you because it really lets you know how the vibration gets to you. And it's interesting, this snake looks very digital. You can see his mouth, and he looks like he's got digital teeth or something.
That is so disgusting.
And so it, isn't it? So, so yeah, watch for this, you know, check back on my website, like Tuesday or Wednesday, we should have this book. And it's just in ebook form right now, but that should be available early next week. So keep checking my website for that.
Okay, let me see if anyone has any.
Okay, I think I'd be done.
Yeah, totally. Go take it. And so y'all, if yes, just I didn't answer your questions. Yes, we can clear portals and wormholes in the home and the body with the cryogenetic eggs. So if any of you feel inspired to do some shadow diving, to do some cryogenetic clearing, contact me, contact Laura Lee, contact both of us, and get working. Because I am finding actually in this total oppression, there's so much hopelessness, despair. People are in such survival mode. They're so locked down and they're so buying into it that they're not even doing the inner work anymore. And it's sad. So don't be one of those. Don't let them get you. Do what you need to do. And we love you heaps. Come back next week. It's going to be different. You know, we're just real people here doing extraordinary things. So are you. Bring your questions. Bring your love. Let's keep building this field no matter what they throw at us. Something is big and ready to happen in the galactic center of the Milky Way.
That's right.
Thank you, Shu. Yeah, that Shu says that. And Quantum Stargate is ready to open. Enki and crying or saying something. You tuning in. Thank you, Laura Lee and Sienna. Lisa says, I see the energy in my mind's eye. That's a great way to go. You know, we so want to support each and every one of you to open to your own truth. It's a hugely challenging task, but the opposite is unthinkable, at least at the moment. Awanda. Plasma flush, you think? Oh, okay. All right, we're done. Laura Lee, go rest. We love you so much. We love you so much.
I will.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Oh, thank you. I love everybody too. Okay.